I'm not going to hold you. But there's a calm before the storm. Let's talk about it here, next, on Vanguardian 650. It's Vanguardian 650. You know you're in trouble when the church bells start ringing. The youngins out here in these inner cities are wilding. You got city takeovers. Pedestrians are getting run over by all-terrain vehicles at gas stations in front of cops who look like Keystone cops. You just have a lot going on. And you have people walking out now in stores. I was in the store today, and I don't know what was going on. I was just minding my own. But it looked like some gentleman was talking about he got a black backpack. So when I hear backpack, I'm like, what, an explosive device? Or what's going on? I ain't think about the snap joint. You know what I mean? People just gotta do what they gotta do. I saw something where a security guard got into an altercation or got into it with a shoplifter and allegedly shot or murdered the guy. Well, he's being charged with that, I think, allegedly. So it's a lot happening in the close of the year. We're on the doorstep of year's end. And when you start taking food off people's table, I saw a thing in Chicago too, on social media. A young man who was with his child got robbed and seemed like broad daylight, or as soon as they got out their truck and walking towards a residence, soon for Halloween or whatever, they had some individuals come out, robbed them at gunpoint, assaulted them several times. You know, they saying in the caption was pistol whip, all in front of his child. And then they actually, when they robbed him and managed to get the keys from him to his vehicle, and they scooted right off. It's madness going on. It's madness. And it's not going to stop. It's not. Because people out here working, they can't take off. And they're not going to get a paycheck. Essential personnel. Your safety right now when you go into an airport, it's in question. Everywhere, public transportation. As far as publicly, government run, federal run transportation. I mean, how far am I going to go to be snooping around somebody's bag if I'm not getting a check? These are just questions. Did anyone, I'm sure all the psychologists, the profilers and all that, did they take all this into account? When you do government shutdowns? Is our military at risk, or can it be compromised? I mean, you got people who have money out here. They can work as missionaries if they're not going to get paid. I mean, I'm sure that's treason, though. But who's to say you work for somebody like Britain? They give you a contract or something. Security. I'm not getting a check from you guys because you're not open. You shut down. I'm just saying. These are just thoughts that people think of when they don't have money, when their money is drying up. You leave yourself open. You're vulnerable. You can be compromised. You're only as good as your weakest link. So go in these airports and people are not getting paid, and they gotta inspect people, make sure they're bad. They're not on the flight. I mean, I'm pretty sure if they was on the flight or whatever, but maybe check a little harder. But who's to say they don't get a couple C notes slipped up to them and look the other way on the radar? I'm just saying, it happens. Everyone has a price. Vanguardian, $6.50. Peace.